one of the most interesting things that you will see in life is that most people want things for free. Many people want things for free. On a deeper psychological level, when you look deep into it, you'll realize that a person that wants something for free is a person that is often entitled. They're very entitled. They don't want to pay, which means that they don't want to put effort in, but they want something in exchange for nothing. As you are ascending in life, as you're putting in the work, you're putting in the hours to improve your life is going to get better. Now, there exist among us people that for whatever reason, as you're elevating and they're staying the same, what will happen is your spirit will irritate these individuals, not because you did anything to these individuals, but because you are improving in life, number one. Number two, they represent or they recognize the presence of the Most High within you, because now you're focused on, listen, when we improve in life, we get closer to God. This is not a religious conversation, but we get closer because now we're, number one, tapping into our talents and our abilities. We have a great focus. To get somewhere to a certain level in life, you need a certain amount of focus. And that means that you are tapping into your talents. So your spirit, the things that you're doing is going to irritate other people. As simple as they're going to irritate other people, no matter how you slice it, because it's going to shine a light on their inadequacies. It's going to shine a light on their shortcomings. And typically, if someone hasn't made it to a certain level, it's just because it's rarely that they don't have the connections. It's rare, because the way that energy works, the way that God works, the way that the universe works, the way that source works is, if you have the drive, if you have the will, you're going to get there some way, because things, new roads and paths will be opened and they will become available to you that you didn't know existed when you started. But because you started, you are granted favor. You are given the help that you need. So these individuals, they typically, they don't want to do things, the things that are necessary. So they'll be upset with you. Your spirit will irritate these individuals because they're not doing it. They can't do it. Maybe simple jealousy. And you cannot do anything to these individuals. You can just be a person that's just living your life. Now, what you'll often hear from people is that you'll hear things like they're arrogant, or they're conceited, or he or she thinks that they're better than us. This is what a lot of people say, and this is pure projection, because you know in your heart that they truly are. So it comes down to what you really want to say is that, listen, I put in the work. I passed up on hanging out. I'm disciplined. I'm eating better. I'm working on my mind, body, and spirit. I have paid the price of self-isolation just to improve my life. So yeah, I'm better than you, is what we really want to say, but we don't say that because the results say it. The results say it, which is why you're projecting onto me, which is why you're saying I'm better than you. So don't be afraid of improving in life, because for me, if you don't have enemies, you're doing something wrong. If people don't like you, you're doing something wrong. There are going to be people that are not going to like your success. You're going to irritate them because they're not where you are, but they also didn't put in the work. And this is why we look at people as quite often delusional, because they want what you have without having gone through what you've gone through. This is why I don't look at other people and say, I should have what they have, because clearly they've gone through different things. They've gone through things that I haven't gone through. But the moral of the story is that people are going to be upset about your success. Their soul, their spirit is going to be irritated, inflamed. And that's okay. You got to be okay with that. Because the higher you get, the more energetically you're going to have a gravitational, a magneticness to yourself. You're going to be magnetic and people are going to be drawn to you. So it's important to be ready for that. Quite often people don't want to get to those levels because of the fear. They don't want to have to go through that. But the truth is that you're going to have to go through it. It's as simple as that. There are people that don't like you and you did nothing to them. You did nothing. In fact, you tried to help people. And what I find is the more you try to help them, as you're ascending, the more they despise you. So they will be irritated by success, because, to be quite honest, if you were just to look at the state of the world and you would look at the things that are happening now, there's people gravitate towards evil, and they repel that which is good. That which is good for them or good for their life, they repel that. You can see it with the content. People repel that. They like, crazy stuff. We like crazy stuff. We like to be entertained. But that which is really good for us, our attention spans, we don't gravitate towards that. We want the distractions. And so because these people have decided to be distracted and you decided not to be distracted, you decided to be disciplined and not distracted. Now these people, the spirit of these people has become irritated because they're distracted and they know that they're distracted, but you're disciplined, but yet and still you're rising here and they're distracted and they're upset with you when all they had to do was just make a decision to not be distracted anymore and to get disciplined, to pass up on hanging out, to eat better, to lose weight, to hit the gym, to read, to study, to develop skills, to save money. You paid for that. That was a payment. That's a payment that when you pay for things, you get something in return. But these people here, they don't want to pay, but they want what you have. They want something in return, but they actually did get something in return. They got nothing because they paid nothing. You got something because you paid, but yet they're irritated by that something that you have or that you're consistently gaining. People are strange. They're very dynamic. They can change in any moment. But if you understand the basics of how they operate, you won't be upset because you'll just say they don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they don't know, which is why they're in the position that they're in. But what they don't know cannot affect what you know about you and about them. Very important. And it's not really that they don't even like you. It's their, because of the evil world that I just spoke about, they're irritated by the presence of the Most High in you. If you believe in God, they're irritated by the presence of your higher self, because that's really all God is. The presence of your higher self. God is in everybody. So they're irritated by that activation of it. When you achieving things, when you are doing things on a high level, that's the activation of the Most High. Whatever religion you believe in, you can put it to that. That's the activation of that being in you, of source being in you. Pineal gland activated. You're activated. You're up high. You're here. And when someone is low, they have a tendency to grab on, to pull down. So yeah, it's going to be irritating. You're going to hate that which you wish to be, but you didn't put the work in. So you can't be mad about the results that you didn't get for the work that you didn't put in. But this is what makes people delusional, because they want the free ride. They don't want to pay. But you're paying, which is why you should pay them no mind. Too many, and often it's in the inner circle, the people that you know. Often in the inner circle. It doesn't matter if strangers, what are strangers? What they can say whatever they want to say. But they cannot know you. I see this all the time. I say, people, I don't like so-and-so. And I ask you, I say, have you met this guy? Have you met him? You're watching him on TV, but you don't even know him. You hate what they have access to that you don't have. People are strange. People are dynamic. But just know that just because you irritate their spirit does not mean that you should stop. That's your cue that you're more in alignment with Source, with the Most High, than with the world. And that means that you are right where you should be.